Yo, what's going on YouTube? My name's SoFlo Sneakers and welcome back to another video. So this week has honestly been a little rough for me with foot sites and Shopify, and it hasn't really been going my way, so I figured I would keep the tutorials going, and this one today is actually a very highly requested video. So I'm going to be going through step by step from start to finish on how to successfully set up an AWS server for sneaker botting. A quick announcement before we get into things, I recently started a Discord server specifically for sneaker botting, and it doesn't matter if you just started today or if you've been botting for years. I encourage absolutely every person watching this video to come and join. It is 100% free, so come through, ask questions, talk about bots, talk about any upcoming releases, and most importantly, network with like-minded individuals who all have the same goal in mind, which is cooking hype releases. I'll leave a direct link in the description down below, and I really hope to see a ton of you guys there. So on that note, we'll get into today's video. So the first thing I'm going to do is test my download speed on my home network, and then once we get the server up and running later in the video, we're going to test it there and then we're going to compare the two. So we got 130 megabits per second, which is honestly pretty decent for a home network, so just keep this number in mind and let's hop over onto the AWS website. So once we're on the AWS site, we're going to click this orange icon in the top right, and then we're going to come over down here and click create a new AWS account. So just go ahead and fill out all of the required fields, and then it's going to ask you to put a credit or debit card on file, and that's what's going to be actually making the payments for the AWS server. Once you get your account set up and verified, you're going to be taken to the console, which you can see here, and the section we're going to be looking at is going to be the EC2. So we're going to go over here and we're going to click launch a virtual machine, which is basically just launch a server. The next screen we're taken to is where we're going to be selecting the boot disk for our server. So this is basically just the operating system that's going to be loaded up. So if we scroll down a little bit, we can see right here this Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base, and that's going to be the one we're using for today's video. But if we scroll down a little farther, we can see some other options that we have, and just the key point here is that you want to make sure that it ends with the word base. So you don't want to have this one here that says base with containers, you want it to end with base. So this one here works, the Microsoft Windows 2016 base, or we could do the 2012 base as well. But for this video, we're going to be doing the 2019 base up here. So we're just going to click on select, and then it's going to ask us to choose an instance type, and this is going to be the specifications of the server. So as you can see right here, the T2 Micro is free tier eligible, but you can also see that it only has one CPU and 1 GB of memory, and I honestly don't think you can even go manual with those specs, so I wouldn't recommend doing that one. But if we scroll down a little bit, the server that I typically use is this one right here, the M5AD.4X large, and as you can see, this has 16 CPUs and 64 GB of memory, which is absolutely more than enough to run your sneaker bots on. And another alternative option is this one right here, the 2X large, and this has 8 CPUs and 32 GB of memory, and this option is also a little cheaper. I'm going to pull up a pricing chart just so we can kind of see the different prices of these different servers. So we could see that the M5AD4X large is 82 cents an hour, and we could see the 2X large is 42 cents an hour. This can definitely get a little expensive, but if you're diligent with using your server, you can definitely keep your costs low. So for example, let's just say it's the night before a drop and I log on to my AWS server, and it takes me about 2 hours to set up. This will come out to about $1.60, and then let's say I use the server for 3 more hours at the time of the drop. The total cost for this drop alone will be less than $5, which really isn't too bad of a price to pay for the increase in speeds that you're going to get. I'll leave a link in the description for this pricing chart as well, just so you can reference it when you're setting up your own server. If you're looking for a high-speed server that is 100% free, I recommend you guys check out my Google Cloud video. I'll leave a link in the top right of this video right now. And in that video, I go much more in depth on explaining how servers work and kind of what the best times to use them are and stuff like that. So definitely make sure to go check that video out if you haven't already. So for this video, I'm going to be using the M5AD4X large, which is what I typically use. And once you have that selected, you're going to want to click review and launch. It says up here that we're not eligible for the free tier usage, and that is 100% okay. And then we're going to go ahead and click launch. This part can get a little confusing, but it's really not too bad, so just bear with me. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to want to create a new key pair. In very simple terms, this key pair is basically going to be giving you the password that you need to log into your server. So go ahead and give it whatever name you want, and I'm just gonna do SoFlow Seekers, and then you're gonna wanna click download key pair. Make sure that you keep this key pair handy, just put it in your documents and keep it somewhere where you're gonna be able to find it. And then once you have your key pair saved, you're gonna wanna come down here and click launch instances. Now it says that our instances are now launching, and then we're just gonna go over here and we're gonna click view instances. As you can see on my screen now, this is the server that we just created right here, and these are some ones that I created in the past, but you can see that this one is on and it is running. So when it is running, that means you are getting charged. So to connect to our server, we're just gonna wanna right click and then we're gonna wanna hit connect. And then what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna hit get password. So now you wanna select the file of that key pair that you downloaded before. So select choose file and then pick the key pair that you just downloaded. Once you do this, you're gonna wanna hit decrypt password. And then they're gonna give you a password, which is right here. Make sure to save this username and password in a text document or something, somewhere where you can easily access it, because these are the credentials that you're gonna use to log onto your server. Once you have your username and your password set, you're gonna wanna go over here and click download remote desktop file. Most Windows computers already have a software built in for RDP files, but if you're doing this on a Mac, you're gonna have to go to the App Store and you're gonna have to download a program called Microsoft Remote Desktop. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. It's basically the same process on Mac. You're just gonna have to type in your public DNS here, and then you're gonna have to type in your username and password. But for Windows users, you should just be able to click on download remote desktop file, and then it should pop up right over here, and we're gonna click on it. And then it's just asking us if we're sure we want to connect to the server, and it's 100% safe because we literally just made it. So I'm going to click do not ask me again, and then we're going to click connect. It's going to ask us for our credentials, and administrator is already put in as the username, and then we're going to paste in the password that we saved before. And then there's going to be another pop-up screen here, and it's just saying, are you sure that you want to connect to this server? And I'm going to click yes. Now we are officially connected to our server, and the first thing that you're going to want to do is just go to the bottom left and search up Server Manager, and then you're going to want to come over to the local server here. Once you're in your local server, you're going to want to come over here to the right and click on IE Enhanced Security Configuration. And we're just going to turn these off because sometimes you'll have trouble downloading Chrome, downloading your Discord, downloading your bots, etc, etc. So we're just going to turn these off, and then once you are here, you are pretty much good to go. So the first thing that I like to do is go ahead and download Google Chrome. So we're just downloading Chrome real quick. Now since we have Chrome, I usually just like to download Discord right away, and we're going to go ahead and do the download speed test again. So we're going to go here. And as you guys can see here, we got 1.1 gigabytes per second. So this server is 10 times faster than my local network, which is absolutely insane. And this is definitely gonna benefit you when going for releases. So I just hovered over the top middle of my screen and I clicked X, and now we are back on my local network on the AWS instance dashboard. And what you're gonna wanna do, and this is so important, is you're gonna wanna make sure that you stop your server. I'm going to repeat it again. Make sure that you please stop your server. I've heard so many stories of people leaving their servers on and just getting a $300 bill at the end of the month, and you definitely don't want that to be you. So we're going to right click, go on instance state, and then we're going to hit stop. We're going to click yes, stop, and then it should start stopping our instance right now. And then you want to make sure that it becomes red and it says stopped to make sure that your server is completely off. Now it's red and our server is completely off, and we won't be getting a huge bill at the end of the month. And that pretty much wraps up today's video, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you found this tutorial useful. And as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you found value in today's video. If you had trouble with any part of this video, just make sure to comment down below and I'll make sure to get back to you. So that pretty much wraps it up, and I will catch you guys on the next one.